Hi, everybody.
Hey!
Stop Skeletons from Fighting. I'm Grace.
I'm Derek.
And so we happen to live in merry old Seattle, which happens to be the location of PAX West.
You know, we did a very serious panel with no fun, and everybody was very quiet. There's no goofs.
No goofs.
There's no laughing.
Mm-mm.
But then we played Super Smash Bros. On the N64 with an N64 mouse.
Oh my god.
And it was great.
It was wild.
So I want to thank everybody.
Exactly. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We had a great time. We're going to be at Portland Retro, and we're going to do another convention there. So if you're going to be in the area, make sure you come, say hi to us, and come to our panel.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What did we see at PAX?
We had a giant list of things, and we narrowed it down to 8.
Yeah.
And this is not our top 8. This is not like an ordered list. But we wanted to start off with a banger. Derek, tell me about the first game you played at PAX.
Mega Man 11. I guess I gotta say, like, that game's hard. Really, like, my takeaway was, I still think the game looks gorgeous. I think it's 2D, but I think the 3D models are all. I think the game is really tight.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. The thing that I took away from the game is I played Impact Man. I basically played the Guts Man character, the not Guts Man character. The screen is really big, and Mega Man is very small. It was a lot to take in. I was getting hit in a lot of places. So I played one stage, and I played there are 4 stages available. I played one, and I got most of the way through before I had to move on to other games. But I played Impact Man, which is just he's basically Guts Man more or less. And my first big takeaway with Mega Man 11 is I think the game is gorgeous. The graphics, I think, are really sharp. It's 2D.
I really agree. And I know we talked a lot about this in our Mega Man video, but it is really fun to see them taking the Mighty Number 9 like direction and just making it real polished.
Yeah, like I think something that we didn't talk about in our Mighty Number 9 videos is that the picture, the like prototype that they've kind of launched that game on in the Kickstarter is very far from the finished product, and I feel like Mega Man 11 is far closer to that prototype pitch that Mighty Number 9 had, and I think the game looks really sharp. Hard difficulty in a retro style game is actually very difficult to do, and that like you can't just make it hard for hard's sake. I felt like Mega Man 10 veered too close to that, and then Mega Man 9 was like that almost perfect middle ground. However, I do think a lot of people thought Mega Man 9 was too hard. The barrier to entry was a bit rough. So it's hard to say, but I guess just speaking as a Mega Man fan and speaking to other Mega Man fans, if they were curious, I thought the game was a nice level of difficulty, thought the jumping was tight, thought the shooting was tight, the slowdown mechanics kind of cool. I'm definitely like, comes out like next month. Yeah. So I'm already on board, but I can't really say like this is going to be a new classic, but I can definitely say like I got my expectations up a little bit. So yeah, I left.
That's pretty cool.
I left thinking like they got something here, and there's going to be a lot to chew on. Looked, played, solid. I'm in. Mega Man's back. We back, baby. What else is back, Grace? Oh, now you're shilling. Now you're shilling for Capcom over here.
I'm trying to show this. I picked Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
I actually just played through Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast in preparation for Halloween. I had it fresh in my heart and my soul, and I was ready. I just really wanted to see for myself what it was like. There is a lot in this game for people who love Resident Evil 2, as well as for people who are new and are checking it out. It's like, of course, a very different experience than playing the classic game, because I think the first thing that I noticed is that everything felt huge, which is funny. I guess that's just a trend with like retro remakes. It's just the scale of things is just so much larger. Like I feel like you're walking around, you're running around like this, and the entire time in the original game, like all of the tables only come up to your kneecaps. Everything is huge.
Well, Leon's just a little baby in this game.
Oh, also, I know there's a lot of controversy about the way Leon looks.
Babyface Leon, I'm into it.
I approve. I think it's cute. He's just a wee bae, and I love it. being in that world was like confusing. And I think that was what was exciting to me, is like running around and seeing these things that were the same, but then they also felt different because there was just so much more detail.
Like when you were describing it to me, and I've watched a lot of footage, but like hearing you play the game and kind of really get your fingernails dirty in that, it sounded like this really is a remake in the style of the Resident Evil 1 remake, because the mansion in the GameCube remake and the HD remake and all that stuff, it's familiar but foreign.
I'm not sure it's totally like that, to be honest, because it might have been that I have a terrible sense of direction, just baseline, and I was like,
she might.
I was just like so overwhelmed with detail that I just didn't know where I was all the time, but it was great. Like that part was great.
Yeah.
And that was exciting. And I think it's the kind of thing that I couldn't really like totally delve into in like a 15-minute demo.
Right.
But it's something I definitely want to go back to it. The weirdest thing was actually running around and not having to deal with the old controls. It's just different, being in there, and it's not, the game isn't picking the angle for you, like that feels really different. And also like the shooting itself, of course, feels very different.
Yeah.
It was difficult. It was tense for me. The zombies, you have a lot of weapon sway. The zombies have a lot of weapon sway. And I'm interested to see the whole game come out. I think my knee-jerk reaction was that I didn't love the combat a lot. Like I loved the world, I loved the detail of everything. There's this hilarious part where they pull a guy through a grate and then it's just his torso. That was really funny. And
which is a gag they stole from Peter Jackson's Dead Alive / Brain Dead.
I'm concerned about the combat, and I'm excited to see it as a full game so that I can actually like dig into it, because it was almost too much for me to...
Can I play devil's advocate then?
Okay.
When you say you're concerned about the controls, now how would you respond to the comment like, well, that the controls are bad, that makes it tense? Did you think that...
It definitely did make me feel tense. It's that weird fine line, isn't it? Where it's like, you kind of do need to make it... You don't want to make it really easy to shoot the zombies, because then it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But at the same time, like, I think Resident Evil 2 did have a focus on putting more zombies in the room, of making it more action-y, like pretty famously, to be honest. So it's kind of like, oh, should this actually be a little bit more action-y and less horror-y? But to be true to that game. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm all the way in on Resident Evil being more horror-y in general. Yeah. So it's the kind of thing where I'm left on, I thought it was cool. I want to play the game. I'm definitely still going to get it. But I'm not ready to say something definitive about it yet. Yeah. That's how I came out of it.
The next game that we both played together, we swapped controls back and forth on Tunic.
Yeah. So this game was actually my favorite game of PAX, which I know Derek, you don't have to say anything. Okay, all right. But for me, I
really liked it though. Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought the world was so cute. I know that the whole like 3D polygonal, like low poly aesthetic is kind of coming in. I don't think it never really existed in this way.
It's needed to come in, and it's
I think really it's coming in. Yeah, cute. We saw it at a lot of games this year at PAX, but I'm a huge fan of this trend, to be honest. It's a game that was surprisingly hard, even though it looks really cute.
Yeah, that was. I would say that probably like best looking game of the show for me was Tunic. You can walk through trees, and they just look like big pieces of styrofoam, or like it looks like something you would see in a Chuck E. Cheese growing up, or like I immediately was just thinking about it's a bouncy castle, like when the way your character kind of like walks through these trees and they kind of move out of the way. It was just very cute. And then you got into combat, and it was like surprisingly we got our asses handed to us. We were like back and forth, like trying to beat a couple of dudes, and like,
which was a great surprise.
Yeah, I think that's something that I think put this game apart for me, is that like I think we're seeing a kind of a ripple effect from Breath of the Wild, is that everybody remembered that they fucking loved Zelda. And so we're seeing, I saw a lot of...
Did people forget?
I don't know. I saw a lot of Zelda clones.
Yeah.
For old school Zelda. Combat's not super deep. It's just kind of like swing your weapon and kill the dudes, and maybe like put your shield up, or
this is what the sword looks like to me. It's just this over and over.
And it's like... And that's fine.
Yeah. That was the sword in original Zelda, not the sword in Tunic.
The original Zelda was like stabbing straight. Yeah, with that game, Tunic, we were getting our asses kicked, but it was to me, it was like a humble. It was like, oh shit, there's more to this game than I realized.
Yeah.
I sold this game way short, and like right when I was feeling I was getting attached to how the combat works and just kind of like that ebb and flow of things, and then it ended. But I guess it's perfect because I was like, I want more.
Yeah, that's the best way to leave a demo, is feeling like you want more. Give it a thumbs up. One of my most anticipated.
Finji's putting it out, and I didn't mean to misspeak. Finji is putting it out. It's being made by one person.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what kind of black magic wizardry they are conjuring, but it is. When I saw that video, I was like, oh man, that team of 8 talented people started doing fantastic work. No, one person. Huh? Sorry.
Oh. Excuse me.
Up next, we went to Inti Creates, where I bought a Blaster Master Zero t-shirt. But then we saw Dragon Marked for Death,
which is a new game that's actually coming out when
December 13th.
On December 13th. So actually very soon. Inti have a really good track record of making like really tight Mega Man level combat style games, and this is their kind of latest entry into that. It was really fun. Like we played the demo together, which was really fun.
Yeah.
Just like running around and I was shooting dudes, you were shielding me. It worked really well.
So the conceit with this game is that there's 4 characters, and each of them has dragon power, but it's essentially they have like a special power.
Yeah.
And mine was I had dragon armor, so my special weapon was I would just create a force field to protect myself and anybody around me. And Grace had her dragon hands.
Cannon?
So
these hands.
Yeah, like her
these dragon hands.
And I think the moment the game clicked for me, we were fighting a boss, and you were hitting it with fire, but every time you charge up your attack, if you get hit, it takes your charge down. And just instinctively, I jumped in. You charged up, I put the field, enemy like threw a bunch of fireballs and arrows at us, they all bounced off, and then you unleashed this like inferno, and we destroyed the boss. And it was like, we weren't even communicating. We could have been communicating. But
probably should have been communicating.
Yeah, it was a very natural thing. And so I will say that like I wanted to play more. Good combat, like, I don't know, this is the people that made Curse of the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And Blaster Master Zero. For me, it was a good game, but it was Inti Creates for a part of my brain was sort of like, okay, they're the ones who are really going to bring my childhood back to me. They're going to remake all these great games, and I just want them to do that. And then I'm playing this game, and it's like, oh, these people need to make original shit.
Yeah, and so that was really cool. I'm really excited to get it out and actually just play it together on our couch.
Yeah.
I had a ton of fun, and just to be able to play it more would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was another one. Thumbs up.
Yes.
Another one that we've been anticipating for a while, and that is...
It's back.
UFO 50!
We played it again this year. I think last year it had only just been announced a month or two before PAX 2017. Mm-hmm. They still don't... I'll get out right ahead of this. They still don't have a release date.
If people aren't familiar with the concept, this is kind of like those pirated carts you used to be... Mm-hmm. Or I guess you could still buy.
It is essentially Action 52.
Yeah.
With the Cheetah Men 2. But like... very good people behind every single one of those games.
Yeah.
I tried to ask if there's going to be a secret 51st game, and they wouldn't tell me. But we did have access to, I think all 50 of the games were playable this time. I believe that was not the case last year, but it's hard to remember because it's so many games. They're all so very different, and this is, again, like... You demo some games at PAX, mm-hmm. and really, you can play them. You want to play them for like 20, 30, 40 minutes, but you play them for like 2 minutes. You're like, no, 2 minutes in, 30 seconds in, you're like, no, you got me. Just give it to me. You sold me. I don't need to see anymore. I don't even want to see anymore. I want to experience all this on my own. And
look, I'll get out of your way. You go back to making
exactly. Yeah, just stop. Close this down. You have better work to do. I think at this point now, we probably between the two of us in the 2 years played about 5 to 6, 7 games or so. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that any one game was like amazing, just great.
Yeah.
But I feel like every single one is good. But I think that that's sort of the point. And that's certainly getting your money's worth. And it's like, I think you get 50 good games is better than one great one, you would assume, right?
It's also hard to say because we've only had a very small sampling of all of the games, so who knows? And we even asked them, like, hey, is there a game you think we should definitely play while we're here? And they were like, no, I should play all of them.
Yeah.
All right, I wish I could play all of them.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we played a game called Gravman.
Uh-huh.
It's Metal Storm.
Yep.
It's Gravity Man.
You can't trick Derek.
It's Mega Man, but like you can switch gravities, the ceiling or the floor. And I think that was also a moment where it was like, I don't need to play any more of this. Jesus, release this already. But also, a lot of the people behind it, it's Mossmouth, it's Derek Yu, and Spelunky 2 just got announced. They have a lot on their plate, and it seems like that they're doing a lot of good stuff. So yeah, UFO 50 cannot come out fast enough. We talked about this last year. There's really not much more to report that like they've been.
We're still excited about it. Still. You know what? They can take their time, but I'm excited. I'm anxious to get it, to get my hands.
Yeah.
My dragon hands. So Derek, the next game I actually didn't play, but it was at the Devolver Digital booth.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about a quick game that you did play at the Devolver Digital booth?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is all very Derek centric.
So we went to the Devolver Digital booth, and Derek played a game we're going to talk about. I jumped in on Metal Wolf Chaos because I needed to report to the people. And I would like to say that it is definitely Metal Wolf Chaos. The demo that they showed itself was like actually maybe a bad demo to show of Metal Wolf Chaos because it was the canyon level. I think
it's like the second level or the third level. It's early-ish on.
I feel like almost with that game you kind of have to start with the beginning because I think
the White House.
While there are people, the White House.
White House, yeah.
We have to start with the White House and a lot of people, I don't think we're familiar with this game. I'm sure a lot of you watching this are familiar with this game, but most people are not familiar with this game. So if you're just walking up to it on PAX, you have no idea what's happening. You kind of, I think you need that setup of like, hey, this is a goofy ass game.
Yeah.
That maybe doesn't play amazingly, but it's still goofy. It's a fun experience.
Because even in the title, you don't know that like, okay, you're a robot and you're in a dam or you're in some kind of canyon. You're
not a robot. You're the president of the United States.
Trying to like going to militarized zones and trying to like free your people from a evil vice president that has taken over the country. Like with that context, like you don't play Metal Wolf Chaos really for the gameplay?
No. And so you really shouldn't show off the gameplay, I think, in the demo. Which is a weird thing to say. It's but like, you should definitely have those cutscenes. You need that voice acting. You need the experience.
Yeah. I don't know though that you can just show people the White House getting attacked. People
yeah, maybe that's the reason they didn't do that because that's too political. I don't know. It's a hard sell.
Also, that cutscene ends with you leaving the White House, and for whatever reason, you clip the top of the Lincoln Monument for like no reason. Like, oh, I think the Japanese thought it was a goofy joke. Oh, he didn't pull up hard enough, and he accidentally clipped Lincoln. But it's like, no, don't deface.
How dare you?
Yeah, don't deface Lincoln like that. I don't know. That's a weird joke to make. So like that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like their Metal Wolf Chaos is coming to the people.
Yep. Derek, what did you play at the Devolver booth?
I played a lot of games, but I gotta be honest, like I played Gato Roboto.
Roboto.
I like the game.
It needs to rhyme.
I like the game, but not enough to remember what the fuck it's called. So I apologize. But to me, it's all black and white, so similar to like Downwell, and it's
visually.
Visually it's like that. You are a cat in a suit, and you're basically Metroid. But you're a cat who can jump out of your suit and kind of like swim around or climb walls and stuff like that. So I got a little bit of Blaster Master vibes out of it. But, it's the type of game that like you can look at the trailer and you kind of go, okay, this is neat. This is, I like the concept. It's very, very silly. The cat's name is Kiki, which is very relevant because of the Drake song. But also, when I played the game, I was like, man, the sound design's really solid. Shooting stuff is good, crisp sound effects, and I like the music. Movement just real tight.
Yeah.
Real solid. Just like the playing it was just great. It was just a really, really good experience. I don't think it's reinventing the wheel. But I gotta say, I walked away like very much enjoying it.
And that one's supposed to come out in sometime in 2019. I don't think they have a set release date yet.
It felt really good. So I don't know if maybe the rest. Well, I'm not sure what else they had to do for the map, but in terms of like just collision detection and that type of stuff, it just felt really, really solid. So I'm guessing maybe more of the game needs to be like mapped out and creative. But in terms of an engine and the sound effects, it felt really close to being done. So yeah, very much enjoyed that one.
So next is a game that I've been really excited about. I think we talked about last year.
Yes.
But it is Ooblets, coming out sometime in 2019. Ooblets is a game that is very cute. It's kind of like Pokemon and Harvest Moon, and because you're going out and you're collecting little creatures and you're actually planting them at your farm, and then you're growing them, and then you take them out into the world where they get challenged to dance battles. That concept alone is just...
So, and I thought that it was more of a straight Pokemon game when we saw it last year, right? And then they added everyone has a funky fresh dance off. That's how you battle in this game.
Yeah, which
sounds like the greatest idea of all time. It sounds amazing.
I played it last year before they implemented this new battle style, and so now what you do is you actually have move sets that you're kind of drawing like cards out of a deck, and it's random. Like the attacks that you draw are random. Basically, they don't have a health meter; they have a confidence meter, and as it goes down, they get more
disrespect them
as you disrespect them more and more.
They get in the circle and they get shamed.
It's definitely not all the way finished yet. You could see that there was more room for them to actually like polish everything up to actually implement everything that they want to implement. I think there's also going to be like friendship meters, and there's townsfolk that you go around and you do quests for and you give gifts to. So there's mechanically a lot going on, and it's all pretty cool. The combat itself, I felt like it needed a little bit more of a polish. I wanted there to be a little bit more going on with the combat. I didn't feel like the strategy was quite there yet, but it was still pretty fun. Like,
do you worry that maybe the game is getting a little too big for their britches, that they're biting off more than they can chew?
I think that's a possibility. I did talk with them. They said this was their first game, and they are making it, it's just 2 people. They are getting published by Double Fine, which I'm sure will help a little bit, with at least they won't have to worry about marketing and those sorts of things as much. So.
They have a great idea, and the aesthetic is like very appealing and very like arresting.
It's wholesome. It's wholesome as F.
Yes.
AF. And then we have one last game we want to talk about. It is called What the Golf. Speaking of wholesome as F. This is What the Golf. It is a hilarious, silly party game, basically, where for people who don't like golf games.
Yeah.
I love golf games.
So as someone who does love golf games, Grace, you must have absolutely hated this game.
I loved this game.
What?
This was the perfect evolution of the golf form. It's just silly. Like, every single level is very ridiculous. I think we must have played through like 20 different levels. They're all very short. We played
the entire demo, and it was... Actually, I just watched you, and I felt like I was there with you. Because also I had to because it changes, every level is something different. I think there was it was seriously like 50 or 100 levels.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I turned to the developer or the person who was running the booth, and I was like, how many more levels do you have? And I think he said 400.
Yeah.
Or he kind of made it's like, this is nothing. This is a fraction. Yeah. We have so many more ideas.
What was really cool about it is they've taken this very silly premise, and they have a lot of kind of more basic golf style things that you would expect, like, oh, you have to deal with different wind directions, and oh, you have to deal with inclines. But then they will just turn it up to a million. Like, there are different portions where they take mechanics from different games. Like, there was a part where it was like Portal plus World of Goo almost. And then you have like the super hot level, which is also really fun. I'm excited about this game.
Yeah.
It's coming out on Steam it says early 2019. So that I think that's another one to keep your peepers peeled for, because it was just fucking fun.
It feels like and also because it's so simple that like it's the perfect like game for kids. Like you're watching the niece and nephew for the weekend, like put on With the Golf and they'll be fine for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Or with your dumb friends, y'all want to get drunk and eat pizza and play like that. It's perfect because everything is so silly and fun.
Yeah. It's a definitely a great party game. And for me, like, the definition of a great party game is a game that I can give to my, mother, and she will be able to play it within, she will be able to play it within like a minute of having it explained to her.
Just imagining your mother playing the game and hers being like, oh, like at every,
look what's happening, wow.
Yeah, she would really, your dad would think it was really funny. I definitely think that. Anyway, yeah.
Princess Guard.
That's not golf. That's not what your dad's like at all.
Golf. Yeah, my dad doesn't give a shit about golf. My dad's a gamer.
He is.
He's a real gamer.
He is. Yeah. Your dad's got games.
He just plays Halo 3 on Legendary. And then he's been doing that for like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's like all he does.
Or he tried playing Destiny.
It's kind of like, Dad, you need a new game.
He tried playing Destiny and someone yelled at him. He's like, man, people were mean on Destiny. I'm going to go back to Halo.
Y'all stop being mean to my dad.
Yeah, come on. He raised 3 kids.
He just wants to relax.
Yes.
He works hard all day.
He does work hard.
That kind of wraps it up for what's happening.
I have a very quick one.
Okay.
A very quick one.
Surprise.
Yes. I played Dusk, episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dusk, episode 1 and episode 2. The police are coming to take you away for playing illegal games that are too good.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the
there's a
sirens.
Police sign outside. But I just want to say, like, I played Dusk, episode 3. I played it for maybe like 2-3 minutes. And I was like, no,
this is good.
Fellas, finish it up.
Yep.
Wrap it up. But also take your time because I don't want... It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're taking your time, but I want it hurry up. But don't rush it. Take all the time you need. But hurry up. There is always hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, okay.
In it. There was always, like, you had your little sickles. But, I was playing the whole demo and basically just had the sword the whole time. And that was fine. I was fucking dudes up with it, so...
Yeah, it's still got that really, like, the movement feels really smooth.
Yep.
It's basically more of the good stuff that already enjoyed from Dusk.
It's a great horror game. Yeah. I think that, like, if you like, again, if you're the Quake fiend and you want to be bunny hopping and doing all kinds of speedrunning stuff, you can, and it's there, and it's great. But, like, for me, I want to go slow. The level design is fantastic. The sound design is very good. I almost wager to say the soundtrack has only gotten better. And I only wager to say that because I don't want to dismiss the soundtrack as it was for the first 2 episodes. But definitely, if this is a young group of talented people that are learning their craft and honing the craft as they're finishing the game, not to discount what they've already produced, but it definitely feels like the quality train has not stopped with Dusk. And I'm waiting for that episode 3, and that's really all that you need to hear. And I think that wraps it up.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to come see us at the conventions. We are coming out of town near you. Maybe, probably not, because we're only going to 2 different towns.
Yeah.
But
we're taking it on the road.
We're taking it on the road.
Yes.
And also, thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you for watching. We'll see you real soon.
Stay powerful. Thanks for watching.